Notts County Talk. Going to do an instant reaction to the final pre-season game. It was at home to York and we've lost 3-0. On my own today, as you can see, George didn't really manage to watch any of the game. He had other things to do. So before I jump into it, I just want to say our home or away shirt giveaway will be ending on the final day before the season starts. So Friday the 2nd of October. And also keep an eye out on either Monday or Tuesday. We are going to be releasing our full table prediction for the National League. And we might need to revise where we're going to put Notts after that performance against York. So first of all, I'm going to go into the positives. There were very few. Now, I don't want to be negative about the team. I never like to do that. I'm a very positive fan, as is George. But where it needs saying, it needs saying. You win a game in pre-season and the fans say you can't look too much into it. You lose a game and it really shows because genuinely you are playing a weaker side. Now, exclude Harrogate, York are the best side we've played this pre-season, but we were carved open by them completely. It showed many frailties that we kind of brushed over against Harrogate because we assumed Harrogate were just that much better than us. Maybe not. Maybe it was the fault of the players, the teams, the tactics. I don't know. So I'm going to quickly go into the positives. For me, the only positives were Jimmy Knowles impressing me more and more each game. Great work rate, and the way things are going, I wouldn't mind seeing him start against Dover. Next positive, the goalkeeper Pilling. Fantastic backup to Sam Slocum. He couldn't really have done too much with the goals against him. He's going to push Slocum much more than Fitzsimmons did last season. Yes, going to be playing the Cups, but should there be an injury, I more than think he could come in and do a job. And the final positive in a very short list is Wes Thomas. Came on and looked very dangerous. We know what he's about. Maybe with his age you thought he was coming to the end of it, but this pre-season he's looked pretty decent. So those three impressed me. Obviously it's a very short list. Never like to do some videos, but let's go on to the negatives. Everything I'm going to talk about is an issue with the system. So I'm not just skipping the formation, the diamond, whether you think it works or not. These are issues within that system. First point is, I've been praising it in previous weeks, how fluid Notts have been. Today they were way too fluid, ridiculously fluid. You had, at one point in the second half, I've just said he played well, this wasn't him playing badly, but Wes Thomas dropped back to near enough left back spot with Chickson to pick the ball up. He should be up top or pulled out wide further up the pitch. You had Enzio collecting balls from the centre backs. You had players didn't know who they were passing to. You had Elijah Sam stuck out on the wing. He's about 6'5" or whatever it is. You don't need him out on the wing. It just seems like they've all been given license to play. Now that's fine, but it hasn't really worked against Harrogate, and it hasn't really worked here. The fluidity is a real issue for me. It's a balance. Give your creative players license to be fluid, but I'm seeing Dion Kelly-Evans playing at right back, run to the left wing spot, and then lose the ball. And that brings me on to my next point. The side are too easy to counter-attack on. Pure and simple. The build-up play is too slow, which is another point I was going to make, which means the players think we're comfortable. We all push up as a unit. You've got your two men up front. You've got your fullbacks push right up. Because it takes so long, these players edge up and edge up and edge up to get involved in the play that is often going sideways and backwards. And before you know it, you lose the ball, and you've got Doyle or Reeves who are covering in front of the centre backs, and then two centre backs. So you've got three players for a counter, which against teams with quicker players, we're going to get destroyed because none of them are very fast. To counter that, you're going to have to keep a fullback or possibly Sam Graham. And if we play a game with Turner with that, we're just going to get destroyed. So way too fluid, too easy to counter-attack on, and the build-up play is painfully slow. With the build-up play, I will mention, there's too much one-touch passing. Yes, we've got very technical players in Roberts and Rodriguez. Even Reeves can do it, can play well. I mean, Elijah Sam, who doesn't look up to it really for me, he's got good feet, but it's all one touch, two touch, three touch, four touch on the edge of the area, and it's no one's having a shot. I don't really remember us troubling the York goalkeeper, to be honest. And one of my final points is Enzio. If you say to someone, what's Enzio's best quality? 90% of people would say he cuts in and shoots. We've seen it. We saw it against Barnet. We've seen it against multiple other teams. He can cut in from the left. He can cut in from the right. I think Chorley is where we saw him cut in from the right. He's stuck in a 10 behind the strikers. That is not going to be effective for Enzio at all. I mean, he needs to be coming off the wing and frightening players that he can shoot with his left or right foot. He is not, for me, a creative player as much as Roberts or Rodriguez. If you must stick a 10 in, put them behind the strikers, it's got to be one of them. Enzio does not fit that bill for me. It'd be interesting to see what you guys think, but it just seems a complete waste of his talents. And I know a lot of people are worried that we aren't playing with as many wide men. We'll have to see how it goes. Obviously, we all want Ardley to be right with this diamond formation. Will it work? Will it not? We're just going to really have to see. So, as I've said, we're going to have to revise maybe where Notts will finish this season. We go to Dover. If we played like that today against Stockport, a Yeovil, 3-0 is going to be 5-0, 6-0, because we did not look like scoring at all. So really don't like being negative, but is it a wake-up call for the season? Let me know. If I had to rate players, no one for me would get over a 5.5 or 6 maybe. But yeah, as always, interesting to hear your points. Keep an eye out for our full league table prediction for the National League either Monday or Tuesday. And match previews are back for Dover on Thursday.